Gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now today we are going to have a look at top 5 must-have tanks, top 5 tanks that you should look out for in the store, because they are very good. Not only that they are good, but they are usually good for value for money as well. They don't come too expensive. Now you're not going to find any tier 9 or tier 10 on this list, because to be honest, I don't think any tier 9 or tier 10 is a must-have tanks for people that are not ready for tier 9 or tier 10. So that's why I'm only going to stick to really tier 6, tier 7 and tier 8. And of course, when the newer players or when the average kind of player gets better, then you can start looking at higher tiers. But these tanks are all in my opinion. Of course, you might not like these, so it is my opinion on what I think is a fantastic tank and good value for money. So the first tank on the list is the Shark. Now the Shark is a good way to learn some tanks in tier 10, especially the hold down that it can do, and it's just a very strong tank. And if you like the Shark, then you'll probably get on with something like the E5, because basically it is a tier 8 E5. It can go hold down very, very well. It's good for tournaments. It's got good DPM. The speed's good. It's an all-round fantastic heavy tank in tier 8. And to be honest, when this comes for sale, it doesn't come for too much gold. Around about what, between 10,000? I think it's about 10,000 gold, 8,000 gold, something like that. Of course, the 10,000 gold is a bit on the pricey side, but you are getting one of the best tier 8 heavy tanks in the game. That is good for all sorts of play styles. And if you're a newish, not a newish player, but if you're an average player, then you can really learn a lot from the Shark tank. So we're not going to have a look at all the battles here. We're just going to fast forward some because I'm only showing you the tank, and I'm not showing you the battles. I'm only showing you the tank that I think is good, and you should own these tanks. So the next tank on the list is the Action X, and again, it is a tier 8 tank, but just like the Shark, it is one of the best tier 8, if not the best tier 8 premium tanks in the game. It's a fantastic tank, got great DPMs, got great strong turret armor. It's quite quickish. It's an all-round fantastic tank, and with the legendary camouflages that this has got, it's got 2 legendary camouflage, and both camouflages are very, very nice. Very nice. You can put any of them on, and they are very, very nice. I love playing the Action X. The Action X is one of my go-to tanks. It's a great tournament tank. It's got that fantastic DPM, the quick fire reload. It's got what, 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds. I would probably use it with calibrated shells, because because it is such a short reload, it doesn't really make too much difference if you run it with the rammer or the calibrated shells. But if you take the rammer off, the DPM doesn't drop massively. But if you put calibrated shells on, the penetration does go up, which will help you against some heavy tanks and some tier 9s. It can bounce shots. This game here, this guy, he's in a hold down position, and he bounces almost everything that comes his way. We're going to fast forward it a little bit. And if you could get yourself on a ridge, it's got nice gun depression as well. Literally everything about this tank is super, super nice. The armor profile itself is not great, but the turret is where this tank is, and that's where you need to put this tank, to put it on a ridge line to get those bounces and just out DPM anything that comes your way. So you can see this guy, he's managed to bounce 2.5k damage. He's on 3.4k damage, and he's just going to get more damage, and he's going to get more block damage as well. Of course, you can get the odd bounce, especially if you are face hugging these guys, just like here against the Tiger 2. And again, with some heavy tanks, you will have to switch to the premium ammo just to be able to penetrate. But in my opinion, the Action X is a must-have tank in your garage. And again, it comes for quite cheap, like 7,000 to 8,000 gold, which I think is usually around 8,000 gold, I think. And I think that is super a really good price, sorry. And in my opinion, it is one of the only, not the only, but the top tier 8 tank that you should have in your garage. This should be in everybody's garage because it is just an absolutely fantastic little tank. Moving on, we are going down to tier 7 now, and the Type 62 Dragon. Now, I've said it for years, the Type 62 Dragon is the tank that everybody should have. It comes at a really cheap price, usually around 5,000 gold. In my opinion, out and out, this is probably one of the best premium tanks to own in the game. Not because it's just a fantastic tank, it's a fun tank to play. The heat pen is really nice, so no problems really coming up against tier 8s. Of course, you don't have any armor, so that will you have to be careful of that. The AP pen's not the best, but if you can't pen them, switch to heat and you will be able to pen them. The heat pen is really nice. Makes nice credits. It's a quick tank, it's a light tank. You're not going to bounce anything, so don't expect to bounce anything. But yeah, overall, it is one of the out and out tanks that you should have for price, fun, how good the tank is, and it is just one of the most fun premium tanks in tier 7 in my opinion, and a tank that everybody should own, especially when it does come for sale, because it does come for really cheap. So yeah, the first tier 7 on my list is the Type 62 Dragon. The next tank on my list, and now this some people probably won't agree with, it is the AMX 1357. Of course, it is a light tank. It's very easily pennable. Anyone can pen it with HE, but it's just super fun. And again, it comes for a really low price, between 4 and 5k gold. It doesn't come for sale often, so it used to be a rare tank. It hardly ever comes for sale, but when it does come for sale, it is super cheap, and it is a fun tank to play. It's a 6-shot auto loader, and it really is fun with the mobility that this tank has got as well. You can really get around the map, and if you can get behind tanks with no turret, you really can bully them. And that's why I have decided to put this on the list, because it is a fun tank. It's not the best tank on the list, but it is a super fun tank to play, and especially if you can get into those. I'm just going to fast forward it because just to show you what I mean about being fun. We got the J Panther here. It doesn't have a turret. If you've got all 6 shells loaded, you could just bully this guy. Yeah, we bounced that shot, but who cares? You could do around about 400 to 500 damage per magazine if you can penetrate everything. And again, with the mobility, the reload is not high at all. The reload is actually really low for what it is. It's a 1 second intraclip between each shell as well, and you could just constantly fire your magazine. 9-second reload to reload your whole magazine. It's a fun tank to play, and again, if you can get it, it's definitely a tank to have in your garage. Now, moving on to the last tank on the list, it is a tier 6 tank, and it is the Panzer IV. Yes, this Schmaltrum, especially if you are like a Star Wars fan, because you can get this this camo as well. But I just think overall, again, this is one of the best tier 6s. It's a fantastic tank, makes good credits, the speed's okay, the DPM is really good, your armor's actually not bad, you can get some troll bounces, and if you're against tier 7s, it's not too much of a problem. But when you're against tier 6s and tier 5s, you really can bully those tanks. And there has been many ways that you can buy this tank. It always comes back in events where you can get it for free. If not, you can normally pick this up for between 2 and 3k gold, or usually around about 3k gold. And it really is a bargain, because it's should be one of the only tier, if you do play tier 6 for credits and stuff like that, this should be one of the only tier 6s you play. Of course, there is things like that, the Cryos, but you're not going to be able to get that because it was a battle pass tank, so that's not going to come back very often. But premium tank wise, you've got this, and you've got things like the TOG. Of course, the TOG should be played at all times because it is a fantastic tank, but I thought, you know, I'm not going to add the TOG because I just think overall, out and out, this is one of the best tier 6s to have in the game when it comes to price, how good the tank is, how much you can carry, the speed, the credits wise. it is an overall fantastic tier 6 tank. And again, you can get this tank in many options, because it always comes for sale, especially when it comes to May the 4th. It's always for sale, and Wargaming often do events where you can get this tank for free. So that is my top 5 list of tanks that you should own. Top 5 tanks that you should look out for in the store. And if you've got the credits, if you've got the gold or the money, you should definitely think about buying these tanks, because they are fun. Not only are they good, are fun tanks to play as well. So I do apologize for the sound, guys. There is no sound, game sound, because I'm recording this as I'm watching it, which means I can't add the sound. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye.